Alright, so we're going to use churn for our regression analysis. Let's create a new process flow. Alright, we'll call that regression. Alright, so let's bring in churn. Alright, so let's examine what we have. Row ID, state, and I think I have that described here. I added some more pages to the bottom of, I added these pages at the bottom of the document. So this is the data. So we have state, account length. So this is about a telephone company with telephone customers, the data for the telephone customers. So area code, phone number, whether they have international plan or not, voicemail plan or not, how many voicemail messages, the minutes used, charges, and then we have customer service call, how many customer service calls have the customers have made, marital status, which is single, married, and other, and then we have churn. Churn here means whether the customer has terminated the service or not, churned away. But this is a binary variable, so logistics regression is what you would use to predict churn, but we're going to predict the usage. Okay. Usage will be how many minutes in total have the customers used, and that will be our response variable. Okay. So first we have to look at whether the customer has international plan or not, whether the customer has voicemail plan or not. So these are coded as character variables. So we have to convert them into binary variable, 0 or 1. Okay. Yes or no. Yes means 1, 0 is no is 0. Okay. So we have to do that, and then this is numeric, so that's no problem. And then we have to add the day minutes, evening minutes, and night minutes, and international. Well, we'll just keep these three, or we'll add international minutes too. So international minutes, so that will be our response variable, and customer service calls is 0, 1 already, or numeric already. Marital status is non-numeric, which we'll have to convert to the numeric value. So first step is data preparation. So we need to do a query builder. So this is the reason why we went over these concepts first. So we're going to include the row ID, all right, account length, area code doesn't matter, voicemail messages, okay, and then customer service calls. So these are already numeric. Okay, so we want to now have binary variables for these two, international plan or not, voicemail plan or not. So we will use recode, okay, international plan, add, okay, S value is 1, we want it to be numeric, okay, and then no value to be 0, okay, and then anything other than those two will be missing. Okay. Then this is international plan, right? So here the format should be changed. Okay, you can. Okay, so we can just get rid of that. Then it will be default will be used. Add new column, and then we need one more for voicemail plan. Add S will be 1. And no will be 0. And anything else is missing. Okay, so here you change that. And this would be voicemail. And we need one more for the minutes, which will be our, so that will be an advanced expression. Okay, so we want to add all the minutes. So day minutes plus evening minutes plus night minutes plus international minutes. Call it minutes used. Okay. So now we have those 3 variables, and there is one more thing that we have to do, which is manual status. Now, when you have a categorical variable, okay, you cannot with more than 2 values. If it is only 2 values, yes or no, that's fine. You can code it as a 0, 1 variable. But if you have more than 2 values, you have to create k minus 1 number of dummy variables. You can have only dummy variables for categorical variables. So you have married, unmarried, and other. So you can leave one of them out, okay, and you have to create 2 dummy variables. Always k minus 1. If k being the number of categories in the column, k minus 1. So here we create advanced expression. Okay, so we run that. So now we have minutes used, and then these variables, they are all numeric variables. So now we are ready to run regression. So go to task, regression, linear regression, and minutes used is your dependent variable, and row ID is just an identification. So the rest of them are your exploratory variable or independent variables. Okay, so that's the data. Now the model, so we're going to request full model, but if you want the best possible model using stepwise regression, so you can select the methodology you want. Okay. Now you can, if you want to use one of these methodologies as stepwise, then you can select which variables in the stepwise regression, okay, you must include. So if any of them can be excluded, then you don't have to check any of these. But if you want a stepwise, but the account link must be part of the model, then you can select one of those. But we're going to just leave it at full model. Now the statistics we want, okay, so we can ask for collinearity analysis. That's one thing that's good. Now we can heteroscedasticity test, and then this is the collinearity test, variance inflation factor VIF value, remember 1 over 1 minus r squared. Okay, so that would be enough, I think. So now under plots, so here is where you can select several of these which are useful for outlier, like plot of Cook's D. Now residual plots, histogram of residuals, studentized residuals. Now, and then see these plots here. And you can ask, you can request a box plot if you want. So there are lots of different plots that you can select, and they all will give you the information about outliers and collinearity and everything about the assumptions. Okay. And then under predictor, okay, if you click original data, so if you have additional data that needs to be scored, you can select that. But here, if you select a name here, it will be saved, the resulting data will be saved, and that's important. So this is churn residuals, let's call it churn residuals. If you skip this part, then the residuals will not be saved, you will only get plots. Okay. Then that's good. So now you run, and we are running the full model. So there are 3,333 observations. So looks like the model is not good. Almost 50% p-value. All right. So here are the parameter estimates, the p-value of the individual coefficients. All right. And you can interpret these coefficients like what? The value of the coefficient relates to y. Here it is minutes used. So how much a change of 1 unit in the x value will result in the change in the y value is given by the coefficient. So in the case of account length, for each additional month that a customer stays, the customer uses 0.01 minutes less. At the rate of 0.01 minutes, it will decline. And here again, customer service calls, one more customer service call is related to 1.3 minutes, 1.38 minutes less usage. But here, the international plan is, you cannot say one more international plan. It is either you have the international plan or not. So having international plan means you use 7.7 additional minutes. International plan 0 means no international plan, 1 means yes international plan. So if you have international plan, this is what happens. Here again, voicemail is 0.1. So if you do have voicemail, you use 0.85 minutes more. Okay. And here are the charts for normal distribution, and this is your residual plot, and you see that it is pretty much all over the place. So random is good. Now this is the R student plot, and it's supposed to be between -2 and +2. Anything outside of -2 and +2 means there is a problem with outliers. But here there are 3,333 observations, so you are going to see, so most of the observations are okay. There are a few outliers. Looks like it's not a big problem. They're all within plus or -3, so it's okay. Now Cook's D, again, the 4/n, so that's this line. So anything above this line means there is a problem with outlier. Okay, and again, there are some issues. The egregious cases, which are these, you can check, see, what those observations are. And again, you have some more diagnostics. So now here, the regression output that you see here, that gives you predicted. Okay, so what happened to this? I think so. Residuals, okay, show predictions. I think that's what. I guess I missed this. Diagnostic statistics. We want that. That should be checked. Then you will have the diagnostics there, and then you can filter out. See, now you have the diagnostics. Cook's D will be here somewhere, and you can filter out the student minutes. Use Cook's D here, so you can, if you want to know which observations are causing these problems, then you go here and then do a filter, and take that one. OID. When you go filter Cook's D and greater than or equal to whatever the value is, I think, I don't know, 4/333, so that's 001, I think. So then it will give you the observations where you cross the threshold. I don't know whether 001 is the threshold, you have to compute that.